Hey, there's quite a delay over on YouTube, so I'm gonna give it a second. It is still counting down and it says 7 seconds. I was just looking over there. So we are like 7 seconds delayed. It's crazy. But I'm glad to see everybody who came in. Woo! Thank you so much for being here tonight. But super, super big delay. Yeah. How crazy. You can see me now? Okay, because it's showing on my YouTube that it still has 2 seconds, 1 second. There I am. Weird. So weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the delay is huge, so I can't even look at YouTube's side too much, so I'm gonna let my wrenches handle that. I might actually have to re-queue up my YouTube side. Let me see if I can do that, and that'll help it catch up because that's just crazy. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Hey, Tibor, good to see you. Aw, thanks, Storms. Thanks, Cashew. And had Janice in here earlier too, talking with Cashew. You guys are great. And Q, Gardening Warrior Q, Cashew Tight, one of my awesome mods. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for making time for me tonight. I really appreciate it. And greet one another. I have been on the phone today. I was trying to find out about local charities down here that were handling Fort Lauderdale. I guess because it just happened to them so fast. It yeah, there's a big delay on telling people what charities to give to. I know, fellow troublemakers. That's right. Where's Homestead Aquarius? We're usually his troublemakers. He usually says, "Hello, trouble," when I come in, but he says that to everybody. I'm not his only trouble. I know Q's trouble probably too. So let me see. It is a slow, weird Friday night. It is very strange. Very strange. I actually oh, yeah, oh my goodness, Gardening Warrior Q, if you can check out her channel, she was sharing with me. I don't know, did you make that public, Q? We both have some children that have some special abilities, we'll just say, and she was showing me these toys that her daughter is into right now. I'm sure Malachi would love them too. They talk to each other, but if you watch her video, you'll understand why parents might not like them so much. My heart went out to you, Q, when I saw that. I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Malachi will do his turn his iPad on. Um, okay, okay, good. So people understand what's going on. Linkimals, that's it. That's what they're called. Malachi will turn on things like the sparring on Tale of Despero, where you can hear the like little swords going and music, the movie's music behind it, and he'll like crank that up and things like that. And it's auditory stimming is what they call it. And he'll do that with different songs, different movie parts that he likes. Like he loves the Minions singing the Universal song. Like cranked. And if I ask him to turn it down, he has a complete conniption because I think he thinks turn it down means turn it off. So now I'm trying to say quieter, let's make it quieter. And he seems to not be having the complete meltdown. Ugh, but yeah, that before I have my coffee early in the morning. Oh my gosh, it's rough. So I felt, yep, totally great. I felt for you, like Q, when I saw those. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And we have tile, so it would echo, and I think you have hard floors too, so it echoes. Certain that Oh, oh, I don't even know what that is. Shurik scan? Yikes. I hope Malachi doesn't find it. He likes to find where they warp songs like PBS Kids, they'll warp it into, like, slow mode, fast, whatever, so it sounds really weird, and he'll play those, Q. You'll have to excuse my lighting because I moved. I had 2 tables in here that I had my stuff on, and the light was up on another one, so I'm dealing with it, like, right here. I need to put it up on something and elevate it, but it's, like, right in my eyes. You can see the ring light. So, like, if I suddenly can't read what you guys are putting in the side chat, I've gone blind. Hey, Louis, good to see you. Good to see everybody tonight. Oh, there's my Homestead Aquarius. Hello, Captain. Hello, sir. I did not swab the deck because I'm not a filthy animal. Go make your coffee or something with Q, but I will not swab the deck. Oh, that's what it is. It sounds like that. Yeah. I have headphones for him too, and he uses them sometimes. Of course, not always when I want him to. Eh. But yeah, today I was calling down to Fort Lauderdale to find out, like, to guys kind of give you guys an update because you're hearing stuff on the news. And actually, it was Passamaquoddy who let me know about what was going on in downtown. And because I don't watch the news, not like I'm superior that way. It gives me anxiety. Yeah, I made that decision, I think during COVID to just, and even before that, but really like I was watching it again during COVID and I just stopped watching it. Oh, I bet. Oh yeah, Cashew and my dad, bless his heart, used to crank up the TV to hear it as his ears aged. We got him the wireless. In fact, you're probably a person that could use them. You and Q. I don't know if they work anymore though. I might have them in with the stuff that came here. But, yeah, so I called down there. I called the city of Fort Lauderdale. They didn't know of anybody helping that was a non-for-profit. Hold on, I need a little sip. Oh, coffee, just a little bit. I called the Fort Lauderdale firefighters. It was like their corporate. They didn't know. All of them said maybe Red Cross, like that, maybe. I'm like, we're a hurricane state. How do you guys not know what profits, like non-for-profits step in? I don't get that. I said, how about Calvary Fort Lauderdale, Calvary Chapel? Nobody was like, oh, I don't know. But then again, give them grace. These are, customer service people that I'm talking to. However, people are calling up probably and looking for help, and they don't know any non-for-profits to turn them to. It was crazy. So I actually called Channel 10 to see if they knew. And I won't give the call numbers because I can't remember them right now. And Channel 10 was like, no, we just maybe the Red Cross, same thing. I was like, yeah, a lot of my folks that watch me, and I'm a very small channel, you know, don't care for some of the stories coming back about the Red Cross. I said, I don't know if you're aware, but they've actually asked people to repay them for what they've given them, including blankets. Um, so yeah, nobody had answers for me. I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to call Calvary Chapel and see what they're doing. They have a crisis team. They were down there. They're like, oh yeah, yeah. We um we brought something down there for baths, I mean showers and bathrooms, like a portable unit. So the firefighters could use it because they're going in up to their armpits in certain areas. And yeah. Oh, okay, the Brian Hall. Oh, good. I'm glad he is. He's getting his paperwork done to become a nonprofit. That's awesome. Oh, if you don't have anywhere to begin, well, I still owe you a box. I've got to get to the post office. I wish it was like, it's not even that far. It's just a matter of, securing everything, the funding, the kid in the car, you know. And when Hannah was in school, that wasn't happening. It was just too much going on. I thought about calling 211 Q. That was when I called the firefighters instead. That was my next one, but when I called Fort Lauderdale, they told me they were down there, they were still getting stuff together. It was still fresh, that's probably why I wasn't getting answers. Like, they were left kinda scrambling because they got a third of all their rainfall for the year in 24 hours. It was crazy. Yeah, no, I don't think so, Moon over Miami. He wouldn't know who's down there on the ground necessarily. He would be Googling it like I was, so but thanks. He does know it a lot, but it was more local. Hey, Lark's Homesteadish, good to see you. And good to see you too, Moon. Okay, Homestead Aquarius, totally understand. Yes, exactly. Gardening Warrior Q. I don't want to say that completely out loud. People can read that in the side chat. That's what I've heard. Does not trickle down. And that's what I was looking for was direct access. And then the lady from Calvary Fort Lauderdale said, "We're gonna put it before the church," and their church is huge, this Sunday, Saturday, this weekend, basically Saturday, Sunday, and let them know there's a need and what they're doing, and the church usually will give and support that ministry. "Hey, Bob, good to see you." So there was that one. They told me about a national one, but I don't wanna give their name out yet because I still wanna check them out because I had never heard of them before. They had something about Ukraine on their first page, and I wanted to, see just a little bit more about it. But they come alongside of the Calvary Chapel, Fort Lauderdale crisis team sometimes, and help with um, shelter. The larger, I guess, ticket items. They help with it. Yeah, no, I don't think so, Moon or Miami. He's too far removed from Calvary, Fort Lauderdale. And they didn't mention any of the Catholic churches being involved. That was kinda what bothered me, was they didn't mention any church at all doing anything, which kinda was surprising because I know Calvary's huge down there. It's a very, very huge church. Hey, Double Up Buck Prep, good to see you. And, super surprised that they knew nothing because I know Calvary's worked with them before on stuff. I used to go to that church in my 20s. I know, and they're bigger than when I was in my 20s, and the place was like huge. I can't tell you how huge the campus is, but it has a school on it. It has restaurants on it. Like, it's a huge, huge campus. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it so much. So anyway, that was what I did today. I'm still going to get back with her. I told her I'd call her back in a few days. Hopefully it'll all drain away. Hey, Micheline, thank you. Happy weekend to you too, girl. What's up? Oh no, double up buck. I'm sorry, but there is like some we were just in I was in Gardner Josh's live tonight, and there's some trolleys about, and I didn't want to have to deal with those tonight. I can reduce it to 5. Let me see if I can get in there and just do that so it's not such a pain in the butt for those who want to come in, who you all have so graciously like shared my channel with. But yes, we were having that problem in another live stream. The other thing is we were having a lot of rain. I went out there and got all buggy in my yard today. Are you guys starting to at least get ready to put stuff outside where you're at, or oh, thanks, Barry. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Janice tilled up her tunnel today, 100-foot tunnel. Girl is just off the hook. I'm getting a little concerned about the Misfits team, Team Wilson. So should I crank it down to 1 minute, Q? What do you think? I don't know. It's just a weird Friday. We were all saying that, like, that's just a weird vibe. Oh, nice, Bob. I can put the link in the chat. I just wanted to, like, send that info out. And it's just low-key vibe. gardens tonight, just talking about gardening. Also, if you have experience from being in, hurricanes and tornadoes and just how they do clean up, like what you've seen, what stood out to you as helpful to people who are in need. Because I just, they're not far away from me, and there was a lot of flooding in some poorer areas that they mentioned, which kinda made my heart sad, like, the areas where these kids get fed at school. So they were trying to arrange that too, to make sure the kids were gonna get food and everything who weren't necessarily getting into school because the schools were now shelters for people who had severe flooding. Oy. Oh, is there trash talking about the competition going on already? 18? Wow. What's our team size? I forgot. I am so sorry. I have not locked down into my mindset yet. You guys are just going crazy over there with the misfits. Poor Homestead Aquarius. He's gonna make me walk the plank. I get the scrambled. What is that? I get to scramble because it's tomorrow. Oh wow, Larks. Yeah, that's kind of how I was dealing. Okay, Bob. That sounds good. Yeah, you got some big old gardeners though, Larks. Big old gardeners on that team. Having a hard time helping their own crowd these days. So hard for them. Yes, Gear. You're right. Churches are. You're absolutely right. Our small church is going under because of that. Because people aren't tithing like they used to. Yep. No, but it was a really small church anyway. Good to see you, Gear. Gordon. Good to see you, Glenn. Hey. Hey, Lewis. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you? How's it
No
going? Did you
complaint.
get stuff put out yet? It's still pretty, like, snowy, right, with you, or
No,
no?
actually, it was 29 Celsius today. The thermometer said about 75 degrees
Okay, okay.
today. So
That's a good day. That's
yeah,
spring day
but
for
we
you
could
guys.
get some temperatures that are more normal to for us right now, like next day or so. But
Okay.
May will be like late May. Stuff
Oh,
can start
wow.
going.
Yeah,
So
'cause you get the reflux of it refluxes the snow, like,
yeah, yeah,
it kinda burps and just,
yeah.
there it is again.
Yeah, we could have a hiccup,
Yeah,
but got
yeah,
an urban start to the gardens because it's been in the 20s
yeah.
to mid 20s
Okay,
Celsius
okay.
um, all week. So got a really good early start to the gardens.
Good. Yeah, you always do, though. You're always growing stuff inside, and it's funny because it's like you'll be working on the same thing that I'm working on down here outside, you're working on it inside. Like,
Yeah, but I'm talking about the outside gardens.
yeah, yeah, no, I know you are. Yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying you're usually ready to go because you're already working inside to prepare
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, for the most part, I'm ready. You know, I can't have the whole garden set. If I were to plant, get seeds going, I'd have seeds,
Probably.
seedlings, and all that all over the house. I'm
Okay.
just not gonna do that. So I just pick some of the
Yeah.
ginger, the turmeric, the pepper plants, the tomato plants, and that's about it. And some herbs and spices that I want to bring inside too, right? So
Wow. Well, oh, there's 80 members strong in the competition now. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, Garden State Gardener. Hey, Joe. Good to see you. Yeah, Tibor, you talked about the Matthew 25. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, please stay safe, Joe. You're probably driving. Um, but yeah, I'll have to look into that because they just were telling me no, like nobody's helping. Like we don't have anybody. And I even asked the Fort Lauderdale, like, firefighters, like, "Okay, well, are you guys taking donations? Because 'Cause you're the guys that are on the ground. You're, in water up to your armpits."
Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey.
Hey, Robert. I know you have experience with the recovery after tornadoes because you had mentioned it before. We had talked about it just a little bit.
Who, me?
Yeah, Robert. Robert did. He's in Alabama area, and they get hit, not pleasantly either. I I would much rather have hurricanes than tornadoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
the only experience I got with those things is seeing them on TV.
Lucky you. Lucky you.
yeah, tornadoes are just terrible.
Yeah,
And the thing is, a hurricane can spawn dozens of tornadoes,
it can.
and we have that.
Yeah.
But they're just so violent. And I
Yeah.
have had to, I've had to help
Morgan.
uh, friends and relatives and neighbors and everything clean up. I've had them hit here, um, and there's
Yeah.
help some people
Yeah.
that have been, the neighborhoods were wiped out
Mm.
twice in the past.
Oh my god.
You know, the stairs that going into the air,
Yeah.
old sets of stairs,
Yeah.
old slabs out there that used to have houses 20 and 30 years ago, and it's grown up
Yeah.
because they weren't rebuilt on.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to go through.
I'm surprised with the tornadoes, is there not a code that they can even build to with tornadoes because the F5s go up higher than the hurricane category 5?
Well,
Like,
the code for tornadoes is underground.
yeah, but I mean,
You
even
know,
with the housing, like, you would think they would do concrete brick structure. Do they do that yet? Like, we have
you can't.
rebar concrete brick structures now, you have to in the new
Yeah,
homes.
yeah, you can.
Mhm.
You can build an above ground home that is strong enough to withstand an F5 hurricane. But
Okay.
you're basically building a fortress. You can do that.
Yeah.
Um, but anything less than a fortress, now things like bank safes. I remember one that came through my hometown, and it destroyed the entire bank, and the safe was left standing there in the open.
Oh my god. Sorry to laugh, but that just visual just struck me, like, what
Yeah, it
people
was
will do
complete
to their
slab.
bank.
There's just a slab there
Horrible.
and the bank safe.
That's nuts. And usually
Yeah.
banks are like brick buildings. They're secure buildings where you put a big safe in, I would think.
Well,
Maybe not up north. Maybe not up north.
I've been surprised in some of the recent
Brooklyn.
tornado footage, the
Mhm.
aftermath, at
Yeah.
how many of these structures that you see built that have come down and you realize it's just a thin brick facade. It
Oh,
takes
true. Yeah.
it takes solid poured concrete blocks and
Yeah.
some thickness,
Yeah.
really thick, um, to withstand tornadoes and reinforced with rebar and different things like that.
T-bar, I agree, tornadoes can blast apart just about anything, but you've got better chance if you've got what Robert's saying, like, when Hurricane Andrew blasted through with its tornadoes around its base, that's when they shifted to Miami-Dade rules for anything being built in South Florida had to be concrete brick, it had to be rebarred or concrete poured, and it had to have a hip roof so the winds could not get up underneath it, couldn't have all the, like, weird cuts, and if it did, it had to be I don't even know how they tied down the structure as far as the roof, it was I forget what they called them, um, but there was, like, special tie downs even for the roof rafters with the
Hurricane
concrete.
ties.
Yeah, hurricane tie there they
Yeah,
go, hurricane ties up
yeah.
in the rafters, but yeah, they
Now,
did.
Tibor is right. I mean, there is nothing that can withstand the force of a tornado. An
Yeah.
F5 tornado.
Oh,
If
no,
it's
not an
above
F5.
ground,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
If
I just
it's
mean
above
more homes would
ground,
survive some of the lower level tornadoes if they did concrete.
and
Like,
now dome home, we're talking about
oh, yeah.
poured and
Yep.
fortified
Mhm.
concrete structures above ground. That is the only things that will survive. Now that's just talking about the wind and your basic debris. When I've been out, the biggest one I was out on was in-laws, helping them and their family, gather up things and get things squared away where everything was messed up. And I kept going to and from the truck to the house, from the truck to the house to the trailers,
Yeah.
And I kept looking at the house that was next door to them, and something looked wrong, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I
Hmm.
knew it had been hurt, it had been damaged, and I knew
Yeah.
that the people that were living in there had died, you know. Um, but I didn't know what happened, and I kept looking, and there was something sticking out of the house, and I couldn't identify it. And then finally, it clicked. It was a semi truck that the tornado had picked up, from far off and
God,
brought and threw it down into the house,
it's horrible.
into their bedroom, and just like a lawn dart right onto the couple as they slept. It
Yeah.
was an old couple, a very old couple, and they died in their sleep during that hurricane like that. So
Goodness.
there's
Wow.
not a faster way to go,
Yeah, that was
So
a quick way to go. Well, when we had the hurricane here, that big one, I was in my 20s. I was still dating the, firefighter that everybody knows about pretty much. Um, but he wanted me to stay with his sister, and it was my brother who said, "Come home." And like my parents at the time were like, "Come home." And I'm like, I thought I knew better at 20. And my brother got on the phone. He said, "You need to come home, get away from that thing, please." And when it was my big brother telling me, it was just something clicked, and I came home, and lucky I did because they had roof rafters come from across the street into and pellet into their roof.
mm,
They were, practically peeing their pants in the closet all night long. It was not supposed to hit their area. It jogged, and it hit their area. So, yeah, ever so grateful for a brother that got on the phone. That was my brother that passed before my dad. Like, that was the one that kicked off the 12 years of crap. But, yeah, ever so grateful for big brother voice telling me, "Get in your car and get home now. You need to get home. It's serious."
that was God talking to you, and
Yeah.
and your
Yeah,
brother.
God used my brother. God used my
Yep,
brother for sure. But yeah, that's horrible. Like I agree with Janice. Janice was saying underground home. Yeah, I would be all about that.
I'm
All about
telling you, it is the only thing. Unless you build that actual fortress on top of the ground, the only thing that will save you in a hurricane, a tornado, depending on where it hits, the neighborhood and all that, is underground, and that's it. The
wow.
rest of it is just, the hand of God, luck, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
just not
you
your time. Like people
Now,
say, just
tornadoes
not
are
your
so
time.
weird, though. They are so weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
Peter just said he's seen monkey bars folded down just from the winds.
Yeah. I saw so many strange things during these times. Um, I actually saw the playing cards. All right, because there's
Mhm.
always a playing card stuck in something. I saw that.
Me too, Storm.
Okay, I saw pine needles driven straight into trees, and they had the stereotypical kitchen. Right,
Yeah.
they had the table, and there's no joke, a
Hey,
table
Gigi.
with
Thank you,
what's
honey.
called tablecloth on it,
Uh-huh.
and had stuff on the table for supper, and all of it was untouched, light things that would blow away easily,
Yeah,
untouched.
just sitting.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then the walls missing over here,
Yeah,
in the
isn't it
in the
weird?
dining room, you know.
That is so weird. I've seen stuff like that where they've shown, like, all the furniture's in its place, but the walls are missing on the house. Like, there's stuff from the walls on top of the furniture, but, like, there's the piano just hanging out. It
Yeah,
it's just it's eerie. It's just so eerie. Like, even people saying, like, "Oh, the whole house burnt down, but the Bible survived."
yeah. It's stuff like that happens, and they had a Bible that survived.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
amazing. That's some
it was
amazing.
on France.
But,
You-
Tibor was mentioning it, so he said, like, yeah, toiletries people will need. I was thinking that too, Tibor, socks, things like that. I did see people getting out with, like, bagging their stuff up with garbage bags. The most ingenious thing I saw was they must have not had a float, and they blew up a bed and floated their stuff out to their car. I don't know how they were getting out of that mess in a sedan, but they were packing the car to go somewhere in that. But I thought that was pretty ingenious to use the blow up bed to get out there, to get the stuff out there, or like a raft. Saw people in canoes. This was the other thing. They make this stuff political, which I hate, because the cities, of course, are leaning one way, and we have DeSantis who leans another. And they were, oh, like, no, we have not heard from the governor. They didn't ask for help. Fort Lauderdale didn't call and ask for help to the state level, I found out. But Florida Fish and Wildlife was there. The Department of Transportation from Florida was there. Like, DeSantis sent people right away, right away. But I saw on the news, like, they wouldn't give him credit till much later, and, of course, they had to say somebody else's name in front of him. But what was very amazing, hey, Food Forest Permaculture, was to see Florida Fish and Wildlife. They had, buggies that were, like, 6 feet, where they carried people, like, 6 feet up above.
Hey, the whole garden girl.
Yeah, hey, Idaho Garden Girl, good to see you.
There's some good folks in here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, you guys. Yeah, right, Bob, more fake news. Yeah, kinda was, kinda was, and even, like, when they're like, "Oh, I'd like to thank so and so." You know what? Thank the firefighter who was up to his armpits in that nasty water that we probably have gators in, that was rescuing a child. Like, I
Oh,
I saw that clip. Like, let's get some names of the ones that really have boots on the ground and thank them instead of, a lot of just the administration. Let's thank the ones that are out there actually doing it rather than a generic, first responders. Let's get some names of those people, even if it's a first name, because they don't want to give out the last. Like, saw you on the news, really want to thank you for that bravery. No, you don't see that. They just
Yeah.
pull it. It's just like photo ops and political garbage. Sad. Oh, is it Lark's Homestead's birthday? Happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about the twisters or the tornadoes, but up here we get the ice storms
Oh,
and
yeah.
they'll break trees down
Yep.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
It happen often.
Yeah, those are scary. I've seen those in
Yeah,
PA. I've seen them in PA. They're not, back in the day when it used to be really bad in PA for winters. It's getting
yeah.
better. It's gotten
And
better.
I can't remember how long ago it was.
Right, Timo?
Living at the last place was maybe 7 years, 8 years ago now.
Mhm.
We had an ice storm. We lost power for 3.5 days, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
And in my area, trees were falling, broken down, you name it, even in the farmers' fields, right? So
Yeah.
I was pretty much like booked for like 2 or 3 months. I had work,
Mhm.
easy, steady
Yeah.
work, dealing with this. And I was trading off with cut because I didn't have insurance
Mhm.
to cut down trees and deal with trees by homes.
Yeah.
Land on a home or something. I passed it off to a company I used to work with that had insurance.
Mhm.
They pass on work that I could that didn't need insurance, right? It was
Hey,
out in the
Karen,
middle.
listen.
So we would trade jobs, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's crazy. It's hectic, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Have you ever
co-
seen the banyan trees down here, Lewis? You should look those up. They're crazy huge, and they have shallow roots, and it's this ginormous tree, and you'll just see them over in storms, and they're huge trees. They're like it's a ficus family tree. I can't yeah. So, yeah, I can't imagine the ice storm taking down those huge trees up there, like,
or,
weighing them down.
right, depending on how they are, and the amount of weight on the branches and how old they are, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, that's crazy,
So
Tibor.
I've seen trees land into homes, like
Oh, yeah.
right into a roof, right, and break the
Yep.
roof. They need a whole, like, a good section of the roof redone, or
Mm.
into a brick
I've seen them
wall.
split houses in half where the tree just comes, like, right down the center of the house falls. That's
Yeah.
so sad because it's like, what do you do with that? Like, that's awful.
Oh yeah.
That's awful. But, yeah, Tibor was saying Ohio gets it all. They get all the stuff. They get the ice storms and blizzards, and, they even had Hurricane Ike come up there too. Gee, Tibor, sounds like a great place. You should maybe move. Ice, even hurricane yeah, that's awful, and tornadoes too. Yeah, limbs through roofs, Bob's saying too, down
Oh
to the
yeah.
ground floor. Yeah, I imagine the extra weight, yeah. You don't need that with a tree, and then the
That
extra weight of the ice on it. Yeah.
tree, like hurricanes, they got a wicked when they break and gravity takes over. They got a force of their own. They're gonna,
Mhm.
it's they do damage big time, and they weigh
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, they
They weigh
do.
a lot. You don't think they would, but all that water in them, like when I tap my maple trees, right?
Yeah.
It just seeping out of there,
Yeah.
you know. So
So
they
nice
hold
that you
a lot of
that's one great thing about living in the cold, though, you got those maple trees with, maple syrup. I'm thinking about doing now to take it back to gardening, I'm thinking about doing sugarcane. That's later, though, you plant it a little bit later, but I'm thinking about it,
Oh, I
possibly
used to
doing
do
it.
sugar cane.
The only problem with sugarcane is it can bring in the mice and the snakes. I just have to figure out a way to keep it cleaned up, that's all, because
Yeah,
it
it
can get
gives them a good
real
place
messy.
to live.
Yeah.
and all that water in trees. You don't think about it, right? But that water is one of the most heaviest substances out there.
Yeah, once it's frozen, it sure is. It
Well,
sure is.
frozen or liquid, still, it's one of the heaviest substances out there.
Cashew. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Ohio Department of Tourism. Please come to our state and give us money because we have a heck of a lot of crap happen here.
Mhm.
That's what we need. Please come to Florida. We need your money. Never experienced tornado hurricanes, but almost died in an earthquake in Turkey. What, Morgan? What?
Oh, that could happen.
Wow. It killed 35,000? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wasn't your time. Like you said, God had other plans. That's some crazy stuff. That's like what did they say? The Pacific Fault they found like it's did you see that? The news, Cindy had shared it. Pacific Fault is like got stuff coming up. They found it, a huge crack on the fault line under the ocean.
They're
And
getting ready for a 9.0 earthquake or something
yeah,
like
they're
that.
getting
I
ready for
haven't seen it yet.
9.0.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
My brother's out there. I hope that doesn't happen. I ain't had sugarcane in decades. I used to chew on them when I was younger. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do grow down. They grow in the northern part of the state, muscadines. Yep, the muscadines grow wild up in northern Florida. I guess probably maybe into central too, but I'm not positive. GT. I have a muscadine and I forget the name of it. It's a yellow one though, because I have issues sometimes with the darker grapes. So I forget what it is because I've had it for a while. Just kind of keeping it alive before I decide what I'm doing with it. because Scott Head has that. He had that whole setup where he had put his muscadines that I'm trying to think of the Ian. Who is it he got his grapes from?
Iona. I know who you're talking about.
Ison, something like
Isons.
that.
Yes, Isons.
Ison, and he was following their recommendations, and I'm like, where could I put that? Or, my husband wouldn't get upset because he's got to mow around it. So maybe then I was thinking over the archway that I got. Then I was thinking up a tree. So I still have no idea.
You said it's yellow, or is it?
Yeah, it's a yellow type, or like a golden type of
bronze muscadine.
I don't know. No, I
Golden.
think it starts with an S. Maybe I don't know. I have to look. I bought it a while ago. I've had it. Just poor thing. Isons. That's it. Isons Nursery. Thank you, GT.
Yeah, I love muscadines or scuppernons both. That there's something about that now. Wild. I love wild muscadine.
I would love to try one. I've never had a wild muscadine. I would love to move up to the northern Florida, but tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get them. Well, I don't want to say that, but we get them here, but they seem to touch down more up where the cold and the warm hit each other more. Like we stay pretty consistently hot, so we don't have like that cool burst of air coming in and creating that.
Yeah, I live on that on the traditional diagonal where they meet.
Yikes.
And the jet stream has shifted places.
Mm-hmm.
Jet stream been shifting north, and so now folks further north than me, up in Ohio and even Chicago and all places on up north that don't normally know about tornadoes, they get them now.
Okay.
And it's a weird thing to go and not have a very active tornado season and seeing people up north having to deal with it. We had one that hit Tuscaloosa. Oh, it's been 15 years ago, but it was a mile wide and went through Tuscaloosa City, and there were 300 people killed.
Oh my gosh! Was that one of those wedge-shaped ones, Robert? If it was that wide, like a wedge?
It was a 5 huge wedge tornado, yeah. But it's a mile wide.
That's
a mile wide.
Yeah, how do you escape that? Oh my gosh!
You don't.
No.
Yeah. But it really is strange, and we don't want them back. Everybody else can keep them. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be coming up to you, Lou. It's like keep moving. Everything keeps changing.
I've seen them on TV and in movies, right? I couldn't even begin to fathom twisters, hurricanes, tornadoes, call them whatever you want. And I know 2 different types, one on water and one on land.
Yeah.
But either one doesn't matter. Whatever name you want to give them. I couldn't even begin to fathom one touching down here.
Yeah.
Let alone a mile wide on the ground.
Oh my gosh, no, I can't imagine a mile wide. Sounds like something out of a movie of end times, like movie.
Yeah, and same thing with the ground shaking.
I used to live out in California. I felt it when I was younger, but nothing, nothing like that. Nothing. A 9 will take out California. It might just break off.
Like I've seen that put on TV and the ground breaking open and stuff like that, movies or whatever. Some of this I can't, and I know it's in real TV and stuff, right? But
we have the sinkholes.
Yeah, that too. Too. A few things I can't even begin to fathom, but still.
Central and Northern has the sinkholes. Those things scare the crap out of me, especially after a lot of rain. You can get them. Hey, Hookah. Hope your mama's doing okay. I'm thinking of you, hun. Thank you for coming in.
Sitting in your house and you're in a sinkhole.
Yeah.
And you buried in your house.
Yeah, no thanks. Or your car, it opens up below your car and you're
Those are freaky.
trapped in your car. That part freaks me out, especially
Yeah.
like you're just a mom taking kids to school and boop. Mm-mm. Yeah, those freak me
Large
out.
sinkholes opening up. They creep me right out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
And
can,
they can
I,
open up under the beach too, and just
Mm-hmm.
off. You know, you're sitting
Yeah.
there on the. Say you're just offshore. I mean, just
Yeah.
just a little ways off, and then one opens up out there.
Yeah, no thanks.
Uh,
Yeah, no
I,
thank you.
I, I can, I can fathom that because my dad lives out in Arizona now, and I've been out there a couple of times,
Mhm.
and it's like a desert
Hey,
area,
Barry.
and you go up
Well,
with four-wheelers and stuff like that, right? And he said
Mhm.
you'd be driving along, and there'll be like this little sinkhole area or quicksand
Yeah.
area, and it'll swallow you and the four-wheeler up,
Yep. No thanks.
you
Mm-mm.
know. And it's like when he first told me that, I
Thank you.
was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't believe that, right? Quicksand, okay, maybe, right? But I went up there. It was a Super. I can't remember what Super Bowl is, going a few years back now.
Yeah.
Super Bowl time, and he showed me a newspaper.
Mm.
He intentionally bought it to show me that some guy died, went missing in one of those things, four
Oh,
wheeler. Oh yeah,
awful. Awful. Yeah, where to begin? I missed your comment. It says tornadoes in Kentucky are different than on flatland. Ours are rain wrapped and you can't see them, only hear them. In PA, you actually see it coming at you. Yeah, that would be freaky.
Yeah.
That would be, especially like if you saw the
That's
one
what
up
happened over in Western Kentucky.
where it was more flat. You
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
It was rain wrapped and
Gosh, everyone has sweet dreams of quicksand. You remember when quicksand was like in all the shows, like people were falling in quicksand, like back in the 70s and 80s, like the stars would just happen upon quicksand. It was like in all the shows on TV. Sorry, Barry, go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. Rain wrapped tornadoes tend to be disguised.
Yeah, that's scary too.
That's the problem, when they're wrapped in rain like that. It's like trying to spot a tornado at night. They're both impossible. It can be done, but it's like
Yeah. Q just said she remembers a sinkhole opened and swallowed 3 multi-million-dollar homes in the Villages because they built it over. It was like swampland, right? Is that what I just read? So yeah, swamplands. Know what happens when idiots take over 3 counties of swamplands, the Villages. And the Villages is like this really hedonistic. It's like hedonistic 55 and over community. These people party, man. Yeah.
Flappy skin running crazy.
They're running crazy like kids. They're like, the children are all grown up.
It's Barry. Hey, Barry.
Hey. A lot of them, I think, are just, reliving the 60s or something up in that area. But yeah, it's crazy that they do build over so much of our swampland down here. We were built over, I figured it out, the hammocks. We were still part Everglades. Everybody seems to be. But yeah, we were the hammocks of the Everglades, the area.
Oh.
The largest part per capita. Yes, I've heard that. I don't want to read that out loud.
Wait, I've got to see that then. You don't want to read it.
I want to read it out loud. You got to see it. It's good to see you, Corn-Fed Life.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, right. Tornado Land, Kansas. Never a better time for you to move then. Woohoo.
Yeah, Janice, the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky, when it was swallowed.
Oh my, what?
Yeah, it was swallowed by a sinkhole.
I guess God did not like something about Corvettes. or the inventor or something.
They could have brought one to me, even if it was a little damaged.
Now I see why people like collectors get so excited when they find like old Corvettes. Like, we don't even have the museum anymore. That was the last time we saw one of these. It's been in your barn.
I have no idea if they rebuilt it or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
So collectible, nature is trying to get them.
yeah. Right. I'll take all those.
I know you grow ginger fishes. Do you
Mhm.
grow ginger homestead Aquarius?
I have. I don't have any growing right now, but I have grown lots of ginger and turmeric.
Yeah. I grow both.
Okay.
I grow ginger and turmeric.
Well, both of them. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
probably see my videos, but my ginger
Mm-hmm.
that I had growing last year, I had harvested it all,
Mm-hmm.
and I broke off a piece on all of every piece I harvested. I broke off another piece
Like a node. Yeah.
and replanted it. And I just had one poke up I made a video of it the other day.
Awesome. That's
And
great.
one poke up. So you can read so just so you guys know,
Yeah.
and you can do that with the turmeric as well too.
Yeah. Thanks. That's a great tip. Yeah, I made the mistake of taking some of mine that I grew, and because I had quite a bit, I harvested it and put it in my fridge to save to juice, and my fridge dried it up faster than if it was on the counter.
Yeah,
But now I went out and bought a whole bunch of organic from the store, and I've got some too out in the pot still growing, but here it's so weird. I don't know what I was thinking. I put some in the longer, pots, which is fine, but only one had the holes down below. The other two were, how do you say that? Like self-watering. You don't need self-watering in Florida. You need holes in the bottom of all your pots because if you get one of our rains and you aren't checking the pots daily and that water sits, you have now,
that's the one big thing.
mush and slime.
When I was doing research on ginger and turmeric, okay, because they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Just different plants, but they're treated this exact same way from what
Ooh.
I know of.
Yeah. I like that
They
idea.
love their water, but it needs to be draining. They need good drainage, just as much.
Yeah. They would grow great if I could put them right in the ground, but I don't want to put them in the ground. I like things elevated a little bit for myself.
Yeah, well, I have to have them in pots because of me being in Canada, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we do gardening work, yeah. I've gotten some at Whole Foods that's done pretty well, but I can check the Asian market. Thanks for that tip.
Yeah, and I intentionally I plant them intentionally if I can intentionally in black pots because black attracts the sun and attracts the heat. So
Yeah, I don't need that.
yeah.
Wrap yours in foil, Carol.
Yeah, right. Gosh. I need to cover it in foil with like a little foil umbrella so it doesn't drown again. Because we get sheets of rain. It doesn't just like what happened, in Fort Lauderdale. It can come down in just sheets. It's just the weirdest thing. You'll be fine on one side of the road. The other side is like sheets of rain are coming down and you're waiting for it to just make its way across the street. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah. Even in my indoor greenhouse, okay, I can water ginger every day if I want it, as long as that water drains out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's true.
I love growing. I love growing both of them,
Thanks, Q.
but I really love turmeric because of the thick, real thick leaves.
Yeah.
The jungle looking leaves, tropical leaves. That is like that.
I cannot get mine to leaf up really good. What causes that? Because mine is not, it's not a shampoo ginger because you're not supposed to really eat that. It's like
No.
I don't know. Mine does not leaf up real well. It
Oh,
forms roots really well, forms shoots. I get some of those like leaves, but they're not real real full. So I
I
don't
don't.
know.
Sweet talking it?
What?
Are you sweet talking it? You need to.
Oh yeah, I
talk
forgot.
sweet to your plants.
I forgot to go sing over it. You're right, Barry.
I've got a buddy down in South Alabama on the coast, and his entire front yard, and I mean it's big area.
Yeah.
It's solid ginger of different kinds. I know. Yeah, ginger of different kinds. He's got maybe some turmeric, but the ginger that I've had smaller leaves, and I was wondering what variety it was. I thought I knew, but his all look like big, beautiful cannas. Okay, but he's got the warmth and the moisture and
It
the
sounds like
soil.
shampoo ginger, which I don't know if. Hey, Brittle Bob, good to see you. I don't know how we can answer that question, but I thought shampoo ginger wasn't edible and it was more ornamental. And it does get like that tropical beauty, like you walk into the Polynesian and it's got that kind of look to it, like that. It's just. And I was even thinking in my yard, I'm like, I wish I could make my yard look more tropical, but then it would create areas where we'll have more snakes and rats under us.
Yeah, that's your
and my
thing.
son will go under there with it.
You know what kind of turmeric and ginger I got? Wally Mart turmeric and ginger.
Yeah, it works. As long as it's not sprayed with anything. As long as it's not sprayed with a deterrent. That's why I go for organic. Because sometimes they'll spray the non-organic stuff so it will not send
That's
up
why
shoot.
you soak it.
Oh.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why you soak it.
Soak it off. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Go check out. It's the Marshmallow Man, Lewis, and his tips on soaking ginger.
Well, I haven't said that in the tips because I didn't really know about it. I just recently learned about it myself. But the reason why I soak it is just because to help it rehydrate.
Yeah, I try. Somebody suggested that with I had gotten. I'm trying to think the name of it. Hold on. It's the sunflower corum. Sometimes they call it. It's the bottom. You can feed it to livestock. They call it sun choke. There, sun chokes.
Oh, yeah.
It started to prune up, and somebody's like, "Oh, just soak in some water. Like maybe it'll rehydrate." It mildewed because it's Florida.
That's how I go with my aloe vera plant. When I want to eat it or drink it, because aloe vera is poisonous, I cut off the skin, the green stuff, and I get that stuff in the middle.
Yeah,
and I let it soak, put it in some cool water, let it soak for about 10 minutes, drain it out, let it soak out a second time, and let it soak for a second time for about 10 minutes. And then I put it in a particular strainer and I rinse it all off, and the poisons are out.
That's another good tip. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tips by Lewis. We're getting really good info tonight from him.
Lewis has got a lot of stuff.
He does. He knows. He does know. I'm not making fun of you, Lewis. I'm grateful for these tips hitting my live. I appreciate it.
The man
I didn't know that about. Yeah, I didn't know that about aloe. I knew like you don't want the skin, but I didn't know the pulp could be an issue too.
I hadn't heard that either. I didn't know that the pulp. I really didn't even know that the skin was. I just knew it didn't look appealing to eat.
It doesn't.
I just know my cats won't leave it alone.
Yeah.
Your cat's going for the aloe.
Yeah, well, something got mine
3 times now.
Yeah, I think we have either a cat or a possum in my backyard knocked mine clean out of the pot like 3 times. My aloe. Nothing else but the aloe. So really weird.
Yeah, like you can soak the skins and then save them, like freeze them or whatever, and get a sunburn. Then you can wipe the skins on your sunburn, right?
The inside of the skin, you mean? Like the part that's not the pulp. Yeah,
the
that's
gel
a good
stuff. Yeah, just on the sunburns, right? And then you just
that's like natural solar cane. That's great. Bada bing.
Well, that's why I was excited about getting that plant. But, hey, Bob,
Hey guys, what's up?
because I'm
What's up, Bob?
constantly burning myself in the kitchen. I don't care how careful I am.
Oh, yeah, it's good for burns. It's really good for burns.
So I burn about once or twice a year, and that's about this time of the year
Yeah. And then
when the sun's
you
coming
get your,
out. And
yeah. And then once you get your base tan, you're good, right? Because I
Yeah,
used to do that.
pretty much.
Yeah,
When I
that's
was
me
doing
too.
the thing, I'd get so brown. I'd be almost as
Oh,
white as a ghost
There's
this
bright
time
colors.
of year. But come September, October, I'd be
yeah.
brown.
I'm surprised it survived, Bob. That's the one that was out in that got pelted.
Yeah, all of mine were. Q said she got hit with it over in the other
Her
part of
way.
Washington State. Yeah, this did a lot of damage. Probably a
Oh,
30-minute hailstorm, but man, it
mhm.
beat the daylights out of everything outside. It's like,
Oh,
so I'm
well,
in here kind of giving it a manicure, you know.
yeah. Is that the only one that like made it, or
No, they all made it, but they all
okay?
have some damage on them, you know.
Yeah,
Like this one's got some damage, a little bit of normal dieback, but it sure beat the daylights out of them, man.
those used to be my grandmother's favorite. She
Like
used
I
to
was
do
saying, you got to talk nice to him too, Bob.
that, right?
Yeah. Well,
We can get
I got
through this. It was just hail. We can do this.
got a little lazy Susan to manicure my plants.
Oh,
Yes,
that's a good idea. That's like bonsai. They put them
I'm
on Lazy Susans,
that's where I
right?
learned it from, watching some of those bonsai masters on YouTube. Yeah.
Love their
Like,
little
man,
tools.
that's clever, and you know.
Yeah, their toolkits on Amazon are great too. I want to get one of the sets.
Yeah. I ordered a set of those, and I've used the heck out of them, man. They're good tools. They really are.
Yeah, let me get them I have a Jabota Kaba that originally was a bonsai that I bought, and it's
The
a
chupacabra.
Brazil. Yeah, a chupacabra. I have a chupacabra planted out in my backyard. It should bury up any time.
You
It
do
runs
live
it-
on a dangerous side.
Don't
It
want to eat
runs
the berries off a chupacabra. No, thank you.
it runs away every night, but it comes back in the morning. You know?
Definitely don't want to touch the berries on a chupacabra. No, thank you.
They're very
No, I have
unpredictable.
a Jabota Kaba. It is a rainforest tree from Brazil. It's the Sabra variety, so it's like a purple fruit that it actually flowers on its trunk.
Whoa.
And probably now we're going to hear next year Lewis is going to have some in his greenhouse.
Yeah,
He's
they'll
like,
be 8 feet tall.
So look at that.
yeah, mine's
Just
real
smashed it.
small. Mine's real small.
Wow.
Just smashed it.
Oh, that's a shame, Bob. But yeah,
Yeah.
I want some of those tools for it so I can clean up the inside of the tree.
Oh,
They
that's
are
something
really
else I
nice.
had to
Mhm.
order. I
Mm-hmm.
had to order some tools.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, Barry,
Yep.
I've been doing that
Yeah.
every. I get my pension the first of the month. All winter long, I've been ordering tools. You know, okay, buy. Then next month, buy two.
Yeah.
Next month,
I
buy
looked in
another
there
one.
and I was like, I found the bucket where the rodents had gotten into the seeds, but I didn't see the tools. I'm like, where's? Oh, I know where the garden tools went. Oh, okay, so somebody
Oh.
took them with her. Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
darn it.
Yeah,
Not good.
No,
let's start all over. No big deal.
never take a man's tools. That's not right.
Well,
that's a sin. Don't touch my
sin.
tools.
to be fair, they were probably hers because
Oh, okay.
she did
Yes,
more
that
gardening
would
than
be
I
me
did.
because they're mine. If that ever came to be.
We got some Fiskars on the way.
Right on. That's
Right?
what these are.
Yeah, they're good tools. Fiskars
Mhm.
last. I like anything that I've gotten from them. They're
Yeah.
pretty good.
Mhm.
And their grips are nice too, right, Bob? Like
They
have
are. Yeah. You know that they switched manufacturing from Sweden into China now, but I know that they do
Good night,
still have
Janice.
some quality control over since it's carrying the Fisker's name. But I bought a pack of 2 of these and went, China? Well, come on, man. I'd rather keep some Swede in a job
Yeah.
but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, no, thanks for coming in, Janice.
Makes
Hope
you
you
feel
have a
dirty,
great week,
doesn't it,
too.
Bob?
Almost.
I missed that part. What was that? I was saying goodnight to
That's
Janice.
it made him feel dirty, didn't it?
Buying Chinese tools makes me feel
Right?
dirty. Yeah.
It does when you see that. Yeah. But we are so
You
reliant
dirty
on
hoe.
them. We even have them like just buy direct from us now, like Temu or whatever that company is that's on YouTube. It's mighty tempting. It's definitely knocking out the middleman who's selling you the Chinese stuff. It's probably why Walmart is like, we're on unlimited time here. They've figured out a way to reach the American people without us.
Uh-huh.
And we have all this real estate that we have to pay for every month. So, yeah.
Just a second. I'll show you.
Walmart's doing the same thing to us Canadians too. They never sold food at Walmart, but now they do.
Oh, yeah, our Walmart's opened up to food a long time ago. A long time ago. I think they realized when they saw Kmart not doing well that they better do something, or they were going
Well,
the way
you
of Walmart.
still, I mean, I'm learning now because this is the past 4 months is the most I have used Amazon in ages, and now I'm learning that you can actually, if you can find somebody who's selling through Amazon
Thank
and
you.
not through their store through Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get the product to your home quicker. But if you have to go through somebody's personal store,
Yeah.
they're for some reason their priority of getting something out in shipped out to you, it's not the first priority.
Yeah. Well,
And it's
Amazon's having that problem too with their stuff.
Yeah, my
taking
drone.
longer.
Apparently, my drone came directly from China. From China.
That they have that on eBay where you see people that are like selling from California.
Yeah,
And it's like a really, really, really good price. No, they're drop shipping from China.
The drone took 2 weeks to get here.
That must have been a heck of a battery.
It came with two. They had to hire someone to put the second one in when the first one.
That was quick, Robert.
They only get 30 minutes flight time between both batteries, so I don't know how they worked that out.
They had a refueling drone out there.
Are those torture tools, Bob? Looking like nail
they're,
pullers there.
They're bonsai tools. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen the clips like that. Okay.
Yeah, these are for a flush cut against the trunk of the tree because they're angled in two directions.
Ooh.
And this one I haven't used this one yet, but I've seen how it's done on YouTube. It's called a branch breaker or a limb cracker.
Okay.
And you could go lengthwise and until both ends meet. Okay. And then you can wire it and really get some manipulation on the limb pretty fast. It gets fast results, but I haven't done that one yet. And
yeah, that looks like it could also kill it if you do it wrong.
Yeah, if you really abuse it, yeah. And these are called knob cutters. They're rounded.
It work.
Oh, okay.
So that you can cut a branch to where it leaves a little indentation in the bark, and then it's all an art form. The whole thing is about art, and you watch how it grows and covers the scar.
I think they're enjoying your tools and you saying knob.
Well,
yeah, I'm looking at that.
You're making them nervous, Bob.
And this is for a vasectomy right here.
That crap was down in your basement for a long time. You didn't just order it.
It was, yeah. Yeah, that's.
He was like, I'm so glad I got out of your basement.
That's for a circumcision right there.
Or pulling the tooth,
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I think it would work for that. Yeah, but they're Chinese tools, but they're really good. They're really well made. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
Well, you're just now getting around to sterilizing those.
Yeah, gross.
From the last victim.
Yeah,
like a bit of flesh was stuck to that last one there.
Came in that way from China, so yeah,
that one just wouldn't cooperate. So I had to get a little force.
A little more rough. Oh my gosh! What, the circumcision with that? The scar just came in. What?
Put the lotion in the basket.
Exactly.
The Chinese tools. That's awesome.
Put the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the flyers again.
Q says, "Oh, I'm so glad I
No.
moved out of your basement, Bob."
Who said that?
Good to see you.
Cute,
Star.
yeah. All right, I'll go
That
put
is
these away.
crazy. Those were not the tools that I saw. Wow, those are new ones that I didn't catch on Amazon. But
Mhm.
some of that is, yeah, I wouldn't mind having some of those.
Hey,
Especially
Star.
the clean clippers like that can
Mhm.
cut close to the trunk. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
these
mind
are really, really handy, Carol. You
Mhm.
can control the angle of the cut, and
Yeah, and you
it's
want
all
an angled cut for water because you don't want it going directly into your
into the
branch and
plant.
then it
Mhm,
blocks it
mhm.
out.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's cool, Bob. Thank you
It's
for
an
showing
art
us
form,
them.
really. It just
It
takes
is.
time, and you gotta uh, d- figure what it's going to look like in a year. Like
Yeah,
those big bonsai trees that I put together, made in my backyard. I'm going to let them rest for about a year.
yeah,
Don't want to overstress them too much.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm. All right.
Tiger Man, Brutal Bob, that's what they call him? He's Tiger Man? Oh my. Where have I been? He's Tiger Man. I'm gonna have to learn about Brutal Bob a little bit more. I don't know. Q's daughter calls me Carol Baskins. She sings the song, I guess, when I come on because of my first name.
Hey, Homestead Aquarius, I figure I'm growing on about a third of a quarter of an acre.
A third of a quarter of an acre.
Oh no, Star.
Dude,
Yeah,
Word of a quarter of an acre. That sounds like my backyard and the 0 lot line. How did you manage that? I thought you had way
I
more
have,
area.
well, no, I have a quarter acre,
Mhm.
okay,
And then
and
you're doing a third of it.
all out of I figured that about a third of it is
Mhm.
what I'm going on.
Okay. I thought you had more than a quarter acre. I didn't know you had just a quarter acre. I thought you were on like acreage with your trees and stuff. I didn't realize it was a quarter.
Oh no.
Okay.
There's I've got on the quarter acre that I'm on full
Mhm.
grown trees. I've got a 100-year-old ash tree. I got a
Ash
maybe a
tree?
7-year-old
Wait,
spruce
what?
tree.
Wait. Can you start over again? There's a tree
Another
called an
couple of
ash tree?
trees, a tamarack tree. 1, 2,
Can somebody
3,
help me with ash tree?
5, 6, 7 maple trees. A bunch of cedar trees that I'm like
All on your
7.
quarter acre? Wow.
Yeah, 70
Okay, but can
cedar
we go
trees that
back
I'm
to the first tree? Did you actually say ass tree?
ash,
Ash. Okay. Okay.
ASH.
Okay. Sorry. It came
Um,
across as ass tree. It must have been a glitch in the Wi-Fi. I
and
was
then
like,
we have
seriously?
70, 80 cedar trees that I'm turning into shrubs.
Right
And I
on.
got
Nice.
a bunch of fruit trees.
That's amazing. You're lucky you.
Yeah, I've got two
Carol Pass.
red maples, which they're actually Japanese maples, but they're at the right next to my parking spot, and I'm going to have to move them. So I want them to get a little bit more stouter before I move them.
Thanks, I do.
I wonder if you could
Sorry, I
suck
kept saying it, guys. It just really was like, what?
maple out of that to make maple syrup.
hey,
No,
I'm gonna tell you what, something about them established Japanese maple trees.
be right back.
You can get little baby Japanese maple trees from underneath them.
Mhm.
You can get the seeds and start your own and have your own little Japanese maple empire, and those suckers can go for some good money.
I found 2 tiny volunteered Japanese lace leaf maples in our yard. We moved in at the end of last summer here, and 2 lace leaf maples are both about that big. And then I found a holly tree volunteer underneath one of the larger trees. And there was another tree down there. It might be a volunteer cherry. So That's why I saved
Heck
some of those
yeah.
some of those little nursery pots, the cheap throwaway ones. That's why I saved them, so eventually I can dig those out of there.
These
Yeah.
are about 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah,
Okay. Mhm.
But that's all.
Mhm.
up here in Canada, where I am, same thing. I get those. They're called the keys on the maples, right? They fall down to the ground. This time of the year, I can go around my entire property, and I shit you not, I could probably get a couple hundred maple keys that are starting to grow up
Uh-huh.
and get them started, and I could start selling them within a few years.
Yeah, it's worth the
that.
time. If you got a market to sell them, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got because if you got the land, you can just have things like that sitting there growing while you're doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
You're not paying attention to it. You don't need to. You touch
Yeah.
it, very seldomly, and they just keep growing. And there's so many ways to make money like that.
Yep.
I've got right now. I've got hundreds of baby peach trees, first year baby peach trees that I need to go get before the mower gets them. I just got to plan this out, but it's got to be pretty quick, and I've got so many other things going on. And I'm a little worried because each one of those is a wonderfully healthy peach tree. Like I've dug up many of them in the past and grown them up and given them away. I've never sold any. I'm thinking I want to start selling some stuff, but there's hundreds of them. The deer eat them, poop them out. The groundhog sit there and eat them, and lay them down there, whatever. And then there's just popping up little peach trees everywhere.
Right on.
Thinking that might be real. Oh, go ahead.
If I could do anything with these pine trees over here on the top of the hill, I'd like to. I'm not sure what part is the seed. Is it the cone itself, or
The seeds come out of the cone.
okay? So
You shake the cone. Once it starts to open up, you shake the cone out, and the seeds are within the cone. That's the pine nuts, but you don't eat those pine nuts. But it's the seed of the pine tree out of the pine cone.
Oh, okay.
But only a certain type. So don't. Yeah.
That would be a nice windbreak. Really.
Oh no.
No. Those are widowmakers.
No. No, you don't want to grow pines. Grow something else. Pines are a terrible, terrible nuisance plant, and it depends on what kind of pine you're talking.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
We had them come down on Barry over 50-mile-an-hour winds as we went through the Carolinas on 95. These trees are probably over 100 feet, way over some of them.
These aren't very tall. They're at the most they're up on the hill and they're like 15 foot tall right now.
Okay. Yeah, and they wouldn't get that tall for you, but they're just not the best. Unless it's like, if you could grow them for like Christmas tree. A little Christmas tree farm, if they're that type of pine.
Make them into bonsai. Make them into bonsai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can do that, but to have them growing around your house, all you're doing is taking care of something that's going to destroy your house and your home and anything around you. That's what most pine trees are good for.
Yeah, we saw a 100-foot one.
I'll leave them alone, and I'll leave them up there on the hill.
But I'll tell you what, Barry, if you want, I will send you some peach seeds, and I will send you some mulberry seeds.
There you go.
I could even send you trees.
Thanks, sir.
Native red mulberries. They're native red mulberries are they're endangered. Okay. From being hybridized out from the white mulberry and other mulberry species that's been brought in. Native red mulberries are endangered in many places, and they're non-existent anymore.
Yeah, I think Glenn has like one, a crossbreed from a native red and everbearing or something like that. He said that does beautifully, but I think he has a red too. Anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
They do cross easily with the
they
other
do, and
mulberries.
they get hybridized out, and they become all these little pink berries, and
Mhm.
you know, and people, it's like, well, what does it matter? It's a mulberry, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it matters because the rest of these things are not supposed to be here, and the red ones are. Blah blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever. But I grow a lot of those. I've grown a lot of peach trees, and I've grown a lot of mulberry trees, and given them away.
Do the peach do well in zone 6?
Oh yeah, the peaches will do well up there, I believe. They need the chill hours. Um, they're not the biggest things in the world. They're heirloom. You know, it's almost 100% Indian peach, but there is some old like 80, 90, 100-year-old variety of snow peach mixed in with them. So it's basically a mongrel, but it's mostly Indian peach. But I can send you some of those, and you can get those started. I can send you mulberry seeds, and you know, if you want something that you can grow, those things that are better than pines. You know, I'm just saying, I can throw some stuff at you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be able to throw some other stuff at you too. You know, because that can be some good money, good barter items too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like my everbearing.
Sounds good to me.
I got to get on that too with the everbearing. It's real easy to propagate.
The thing is, you might not need what you need are the things that money can buy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind trading a little mulberry tree for 24 rolls of toilet paper.
There you go.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind a bit.
Yeah, that's true. Barter it. I didn't think about that instead, Aquarius.
Yeah.
You just gotta have the boo tickets.
Yeah, got to leave the governor out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you use what you've got. I'm gonna be. I gotta be careful saying this, but you know, you can trade things.
Mm-hmm.
You can use what you got to get what you want. Is where I was going
There
with
you
that.
go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I won't touch that one.
Yeah, don't touch it. Leave it there.
I'll leave it there.
Completely
Jesus wants me
innocent.
to leave it there. Idaho wants to know, Zone 6, will the red mulberry survive Zone 6?
That
would probably be
No, I like
red
it.
mulberries on the they're not native. Their native range is not anywhere past the Mississippi. It's all an eastern thing, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I looked at the map, but they do grow up to the Canadian border on the East Coast, on this area over here, as do pawpaws. But now Idaho, y'all getting that different kind of cold there in South Canada.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if
they have one, but theirs is called the Weeping Mulberry.
I don't see why it wouldn't. It says that it's found in Ontario, Minnesota, Vermont, South.
Hey, Star.
But that's East Coast. They have the white mulberry.
The white mulberry is all from China.
Mm-hmm. They have it. They have it's called the Weeping Mulberry. It's a gorgeous tree. It's gorgeous.
It might work. It might.
Yeah.
It might well.
It says as far south as Florida, so I don't see why it wouldn't survive in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, you would be fine. We're talking about Idaho. You should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be good.
Yeah, you should be fine. Yours is moderate climate.
Yeah,
Idaho gets woohoo.
I got a mulberry. It was planted by the last owners of this place.
Oh, okay. Do you know what type?
It's got white flowers now.
Okay.
And I know, like I said before, that this place was left derelict because the old gal who lived here had cancer. She couldn't do anything. and they hired some landscapers to come in and clean the place up, and those guys took a chainsaw to it and just hacked it way back. It's like it's still hanging in there, but
My flowers look like berries when they start off, though. They're a berry shape.
oh,
Are
okay.
these like a straight up little white flower, or are they?
I'll be right back. I'll go outside and take a little clipping off of it.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
You
right
sure?
back.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks,
that's no
Bob.
problem.
Kentucky is good for growing Kentucky Fried Chicken. Star. Cute. Very good. That was a good one.
This recent storm that we've had, I've got my mulberries, and I've got so many of them laying all over the ground now. They're green. You know, they're just going from the flower stage to the forming the berry stage. And I swear the wind knocks off so many of them because they're not attached real strongly, you know.
No, they're not once they ripen, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you just walk on them and it's like, oh my, I'm not going to get any of these.
Mm-hmm. That's how I felt with the rains that we were getting. I just went out there and there was some that were just so big and juicy. And as soon as I touched the plant, they dropped on the sandy ground.
I tell people to keep them small. Just keep it cut back and keep it as a bush.
Yeah. Mine's kind of a bush, but it's like it just takes a little bit of rain and it takes off again.
Well, like it's a tree. You know, it's a mulberry tree. The reason there's no mulberry bush. It's a bush because it's a tree that people kept cut back.
Yeah. They could, well, they claim it's a shrub, like everbearing. They always say it's more like a shrub.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, but you're
Bring
right.
me
Though,
a shrubbery.
It wants to be a tree. It's wanted to be a tree ever since I planted it because it just sends out runners that go straight up to the sky, and then it'll send out ones that are just as big the other way. So I might have a cross that I didn't realize I got because I got it from a backyard gardener.
I hope you do.
Yeah, me too. Ooh, what is that?
Isn't that the mulberry? I think it's a mulberry.
I don't know what kind that would be.
It would be. That doesn't look.
That would be like Pakistani is the only one that I know that gets that long, but I don't think you would have a Pakistani out in your. Maybe it's a different type of mulberry that like they call it a mulberry, but it's a different.
Hard to say.
That long drooped flower there, it does look like it would form a Pakistani or a Morocco or you know, there's several of them like that.
Yeah. It's beautiful flower. Like
Mrs.
really
just smiles
pretty.
when she stands next to this.
Does it have a smell?
Yeah.
What's it smell like? Sweet, honey, what?
Almost like a lavender, almost.
Almost.
But it's not about the leaves. The leaves look right.
The leaves.
Yeah, it could be something different entirely because I'm not familiar with this plant.
It's not a laurel. That looks almost like a laurel leaf.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look like a mulberry leaf.
It doesn't look like a mulberry leaf at all. Mulberry leaves are kind of, they have that like shape like not an ivy. It's not as sharp as an ivy, but it's got that jagged edge and it's wider.
Oh, this might be something different entirely then. I don't know. I just been calling it a mulberry because
oleander.
I just kind of no, it's not an oleander.
I don't know what it looks like.
Oleanders are poisonous, but yeah, that would make sense that Bob would have one above his basement.
Wow, that's
yeah. The shape of the tree, the leaves are like a laurel, but I don't see a flower like that. A laurel tree leaf shape.
Idaho garden girl, I might have to send you something one day. Might have to.
I've never seen them like they don't cascade out like that in a bunch. Mulberry flowers are more spread out like fingers.
It is a laurel. It's called the drooping laurel.
Drooping laurel?
Yep. The drooping laurel. Do the individual flowers look a little bit like bell shaped? Like when you look at the small flower?
Oh, let's see.
They look like bay leaves to me.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a bay laurel type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bay is a laurel. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is kind of a bell shape. Yeah.
I think you can
mean-
look up mountain laurel later and see, or drooping laurel, the bell shape. Hold on.
That's pretty.
It
is pretty. Yeah.
beautiful.
But when they, I mean, the place was really overgrown, and when they cut it back, man, they took a chainsaw and just whacked right across the top
Yeah.
of it, and it's like,
It's usually though on this coast, so I'm still not. I don't think I still have it, but it's close to that. It's close to a drooping laurel, I think.
Let's see.
Mulberries have like the crazy leaves. They
do.
They have they've got like one basic like structure on the edge, like the serrations and everything a lot of times, but then they've got some that look whole, some that look trifold. You know, they got some crazy looking like different leaves. It's like every other leaf is a different shape.
They're rounded, but they have sort of a nettles edge to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they'll be the ones I've got can have different, completely different shaped leaves on it. It's a weird thing.
I just found an accurate photo of it on Mr. Google here. It is a dwarf fetterbush, a small evergreen flowering shrub.
Wow, fetter.
Feta.
Feta.
It's a feta.
It's a feta bush.
I'm going to take a
Never even heard of that. A feta.
I haven't either. I thought it was some kind of a berry.
Thought it was a laurel. Like it just.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I drooping laurel, and I found it right here. So I'm gonna take a snapshot of that.
Let me see. I'm looking at that
plant.
Feta bush for sale.
Well,
yeah, Gary said Japanese Andromeda feather bush.
Yeah, or coastal Leo. I need to learn how to speak Latin.
Yes.
I can't do this. I cannot do the Latin.
I can't do English. Good job.
I can barely do English. That's right. I can barely do it.
Yeah, me neither.
Japanese Andromeda, eh?
Yeah. This is
in there.
Oh, the mountain laurel is PA state flower.
Liz, she just went.
Thank you, Idaho palmate leaves. Thank you. No, it didn't. She was agreeing. It didn't look like the same leaf as a mulberry. I agree. I'm going backwards in my side chat now. Sorry, guys.
Lewis, Carol just went Canadian on us.
Did I? Sorry.
She said, "Hey,
hey." We have Canadians that come down here. They're a portion of our snowbirds. We like our Canadians. Sadly, they bring their money. Right. They do the seasonal rental and bring a lot of money to Florida.
The rent of the condo for 3 months or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, in high season.
Well, thank you everybody for helping me find out what kind of a bush this is. I thought it was
really
a type of a berry. It is. My wife really likes it.
Oh, perfect then. Just meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like some. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Does it have like uses besides it being pretty? If so, that would be an extra win.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's all used for. But
you got homework to do.
Yeah, the couple that lived here before us, they were the first and only owners of the place, and they were a Filipino couple. And like the neighbors next door have got I've got a Japanese tree in the front, and then I got this in the back. So he had some kind of eye for gardening. I think he had some training in gardening, I believe, because his plants, what he plant, other than some roadies are like, there's millions of them here. But he had some eye for gardening because he planted some pretty nice shrubs, and
yeah, that was pretty. The person before it went to crap did. You mean the owner before it went to crap?
The story from the neighbors was it was a married couple for quite a long time, and then they divorced. He got the kids, she got the house, and then she stayed here. she got cancer, and the neighbors cut the grass in the front. She couldn't maintain the rest of the
No, of
property.
course not.
And one of the other neighbors said that when she died, she had some guy renting a bedroom in here, and he squatted for a while, so they had a tough time getting him out of here.
Good to see you, Abe. Thank you for coming in.
I could see the contractor who came in to redo the inside. He said all of her possessions were still inside the house because
Oh, wow.
I found out later that the neighbor said that one of the times she went to the hospital, she didn't come back.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. That's why I smudged this house and prayed in holy water, because there was some little bit of bad juju going on in here before we got here. So
yeah, we had our pastor come over and did the whole thing too. Anointed every window and door with all the oil.
Yeah,
like that you would use when you go to the elders of the church, that they anoint the sick with. We use that on all our openings in the house, because this one room that I'm in right now had a big circle in the middle of the floor that the kids had made, that my husband was like, that room gives me the creeps, because we didn't see it when we first,
Ew.
Yeah, no, it was an emo kid. It wasn't like that. It was just, still spiritual stuff that we got rid of when the pastor came over.
We wanted to get our Catholic priest over here, but the day he was scheduled to come over, he had a death of some kind he had to attend, and so we haven't had the priest have blessed the house yet. So I just went and smudged and prayed and all that. But that's one thing we're going to plan for this summer. It's a Filipino thing to have a get together like we did with our new house overseas. You guys might have seen that video.
You might need to do that again with your new house overseas after that last visit there. Maybe have the priest come back.
Well, I think we
spiritually seal the place down again.
My sister-in-law.
I know. I didn't mean to bring up a bad thing, but it made me think of it when you said about
wouldn't hurt. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt.
Because she brought something in.
Get you one of those bee smokers and just stuff it full of sage, right? just go through and fumigate.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. No way. What is it? They put the stuff that they oh my gosh, incense. I couldn't think of the word incense. Put the incense from the altar in the smoker. There you go.
Yeah, I smudge with lavender smoke. A sage. Oh, I can't tolerate that stuff, man. Ooh,
no, I don't like it.
Knocks me senseless.
Yeah, I don't like it. But yeah,
is that what's wrong with you?
There's a few things wrong with me.
Make the whole house smell like a country sausage for years.
Pretty much.
Boy.
That's
Jimmy Dean.
I would just get fat. It would just make me hungry.
Yeah. We don't have any smoke that we do in the Protestants. We don't really use smoke. We use the oil, and that's about it, and prayer. But too, we're not supposed to use this sacred incense that was for the temple. You weren't supposed to ever remake that. It was only supposed to be for the temples that were made, and that was when Judaism was using it, like the one that was given to Moses for Aaron for the altars. They were never supposed to be repeated. It says right in the books that you're not to make this for anything else. It was only to be for God, for his presence to come into the Holy of Holies, which makes sense because you don't want to, be spreading that around somewhere and God shows up and you really don't want him there. Didn't work out so well for the Israelites, and when they started complaining in the desert and God showed up.
What y'all got to complain about? Have y'all heard what you were led out of?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Want to go back? I can send you back.
Yeah, I can send you back. Yeah.
You getting tired of the free food? I can change that.
Yep, and change the menu. It was neat to hear Yossi say, though, that it became that they had it written that it became like whatever they desired at that time to eat, it would take on that flavor to them. that honey like cake or
Mm.
whatever.
That
it
was
was called
manna,
from
wasn't
heaven.
it?
It was manna from
Star Trek
heaven.
replicator right there is what that is.
Yeah, it was a Star Trek replicator. Or like those pills, like from the future. Willy Wonka. That's where Willy Wonka got the idea.
Earl Grey hot.
Never heard of such a thing.
What, the Willy Wonka gumballs that taste like dinner? That was like,
No. You guys are crazy. It's a Star Trek replicator. It's Willy Wonka, and it was God. Come on.
well, that's who had the original idea. There's a bunch of Jewish people that are out in Hollywood. They're like stealing from God. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. We know where they got their original idea from.
I don't know any of these people, Lord. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah.
Just arrived.
Yeah.
I took a drink and I wound up here. I don't know what. What happened?
What happened?
What is it? Ignorance of the law is not. What is that? What's that? I forget how that goes, but yeah.
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse or something like
yes,
that.
something to that effect.
So
Ignorance of the law is
Say that to me
Mm.
once.
ignorance of the law is 9/10 of being a politician.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Actually, they know it quite well. They just know how to get around it even better because
Yeah.
most of them are lawyers.
They are. That's right. That's right.
They know all the loopholes and how to cover their butts really, really well.
Last elections, I went on different websites to look up every politician running for office locally.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're lawyers. They're all lawyers, and
Yeah.
or I remember one guy. He he must have been put up to it for a bet or something. He was a pure stoner, and
Really?
yeah, he got popped once for a couple of times for not paying traffic tickets, and you should have seen his campaign picture. He's like, "Hey, what the hell?" You know? I think I voted for the guy. You know?
Oh my gosh. Probably was better than some of the other guys. That's for sure.
At least he was straight up honest. You know, he was a blue collar guy going, "Hey, why not try? What the heck?" You know, that was his campaign.
Was it really?
I appreciated that, you know.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like something that would happen on The Simpsons and that he would win.
Yeah.
Wait, so then is AOC a lawyer? I thought she was like a waitress. Or is that just a joke?
I don't
Uh,
I think I know she graduated from some university somewhere. And
Well, I did too, but I'm definitely not a lawyer.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
she might have brought somebody some food one time. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah, she was
heard
at a
so far,
fence taking pictures that may have been near a border like Taco Bell at one point.
She might have worked.
This is
What a
Nora.
horror.
I remember seeing her getting her staff car being chauffeured around. This is horrible. There's children in cages, and I'm like, and you're leaving. You saw this, and you're doing nothing, and you're going back to DC. Thanks. Yeah, great.
Right?
You got my back. I know you do. Yeah. There's children in cages. It's slavery or something. Like, and now you're going back to DC.
Of course. I did my photo op, Bob. I've got to go.
That was outside of a Taco Bell.
Yeah, possibly Taco Bell. It's the border. Come to the border.
Mhm.
I loved how you did that, Homestead Aquarius. Gear, 8 and near. Although it's not 8-0 near. You don't say the O like that. I always screw it up once I say it. Hey, Shift, what's up? AOC. Psh. Did you hear we spotted her at the border, Taco Bell's border? Actually, I think was it her? Who did I see? Oh no, it was something about one of the singers, like the old Disney singers, like picking up something at 3 a.m. You know it, and then shows the Taco Bell bag. Like, reaching out to her fans that way. I'm eating the same crap you do while I'm on the road. She probably did not eat that crap. It was just like a shout out because Taco Bell will now give her money.
They gave her a free bag and she just put McDonald's in it.
Yeah, well, she put something in it. That's for sure. Might have been a drug drop off. You never know with some of them.
Down here with a photo op eating authentic Mexican food.
That's right. I'll be in the bathroom in the next 15 minutes.
In my place here, it is authentic Mexican food.
Your leg's crazy.
Because that's, a bunch of them working there, which that's our locals,
So they tweak it. They tweak it a little bit. Be like, no, Mr. Robert, you don't want that. We have a special.
Yeah.
We have the off menu special.
Yeah.
Jose pulls up in the truck out back. Gives you the real thing. That's true though. They make some truck food from real Mexican people is some of the best tacos you'll ever have in your life. And it doesn't taste like Taco Bell. It's not.
I have made done doctors a favor, okay, and brought them special deliveries, okay, there's of fried rat, okay, illegal, but there are certain restaurants where they will because they know the people and it happens, and they tell me, they say don't look in the bag. I could have been running drugs for these doctors, okay.
Great.
But don't look at it. Just bring it up here, and it'll be cool. I'm like, okay, hell am I bringing up here, doc?
Yeah, that don't sound right.
Yeah, but it was rat, traditional fried rat.
That's a Mexican dish.
No. This was for Chinese doctors.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, what that sounds like. Yeah, not Chinese. Like
the restaurants would be shut down if they knew that was going on. It was like the underground menu.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not something.
There's a Chinese restaurant out here. It's owned by a Chinese couple, but it's run by Mexicans.
Go figure.
And if you could afford it, I mean, I've eaten there twice, and it wasn't. I didn't pay, but it was really good food. I mean, just what I remember from growing up, and my parents would take us out.
What is that? I just heard a beep beep.
Oh, most of our restaurants around here, I mean, we've got the majority of our restaurants are Mexican restaurants now. When I first moved here, there were only a couple, but now that's the majority. They closed my favorite barbecue place, and it reopened as a Mexican restaurant, and that just broke my heart because that's where my barbecue is. That's my redneck Happy Meal right there, and they took it away from me.
Yes, she was trying to live out the Coyote Ugly movie. You are right, shift engineering. Yes, that's probably what she was doing.
Somebody snorted. There was a small snort there.
Really?
Just a small.
My allergies must be getting, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't usually, not usually me. Gear, no, I don't have a bling tail that gets charged. Thank you. No. And I don't have a bling tail, period. Thank you. I needed to clarify that because then it was going to come back around probably. I partially admitted to having a tail. I do not have a tail. He's always trying to pin that. Oh, no, I can't say pin that on me.
Pin the tail on the fish. Okay.
How do I even walk into those?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You got the back end of those, don't you?
I got it. Yep.
Lovely.
Really pretty.
Yeah, these are nice.
That is a nice combination of color there.
It is.
Vibrant.
My grandmother always loved those. We did a room for her, and I painted pansies and stuff for her in it.
big old
Oh,
coffee
nice cup.
soup cup. Yeah, that's
That's a
that's
nice
all my
cup.
all my pots are like that. You guys, you guys
That's
seen
a
them on my
beautiful
channel.
cup. I like that.
Yeah.
Really pretty pot. You
I-
heard
I-
it too, Shift Up. I guess it
Mhm.
was me. Didn't know. Must be my allergies. No, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but does YouTube still have that thing with smoking? Like, did they take that away? Thanks, Lewis. I don't know if they do or not. I don't care, but if YouTube, I don't want YouTube to hit me when I'm, because yeah. Sorry, Lewis.
No, it's quite all right.
I know you have. It's like you never had to do that before, and then YouTube came out with new rules, and I didn't know if they took them back and changed.
But it's okay for us to drink. I mean,
Right?
what the heck?
Yeah, it's okay to do other stuff which we cannot even mention that they have on YouTube.
Pretty soon I won't be able to show the cats.
That's right.
All
Oh,
right, baby.
how are the kitties tonight?
Would you like to see them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get your babies, so don't get mad at me, okay?
Is she getting more protective of them now that they have their eyes open?
Not as much as she was.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God, they're asleep though.
Oh, she's gonna get mad at you, just like any mama would.
Oh.
Leave my sleeping babies alone. Isn't that a pretty pansy they showed? It's like classic, beautiful pansy.
Uh-oh, crusty eye.
No, listen to the talking. Oh my gosh. Missy. Oh, they yell.
So yes, they have grown quite a bit.
Oh, they have gotten really big. Oh.
This one's got gunk in its eyes, so I'm gonna have to treat him.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet. Yeah, that one looks like
Definitely a girl.
Dark. Yep.
And this one's the boy. So
Go figure.
yeah.
Go figure. And he's the one, he looks like daddy, right? The boy
Yeah.
looks like more like daddy. That's so funny. It's Dark
She looks
Paw.
so much like her mother.
And she does. Yep, that's what I was gonna say. It's so wild.
Okay. I know.
She's getting anxious, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're beautiful, little mama.
Okay, baby. It's all right. Go on.
Oh, Shift, they changed. You're not allowed to smoke on camera, supposedly now, with lives or videos. It's crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, they were like balled up in a wool blanket there, so I'm pretty sure they were
cozy.
really warm. Yeah.
Nice and
It's not like terribly cold. I think it's like in the 50s tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And the house is still warm from the daytime because we were up in the 70s today, almost 77, something like that. So the house is still pretty warm to me. I just got this on because it was just a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
But they were balled up on each other when I got them.
Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet.
Hi, babies.
Well,
It's okay. I'm sorry.
It's getting late here, and it's like it's not too bad, but I have been trying to get to bed earlier, and I've been doing okay, except for I think the other night. But
I've learned I can't
I've
fight it.
appreciated
I've been like this, like every time it's spring comes around, and then all summer long, I'll be up until 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow,
that might be why I tossed and turned all night. I kept waking up.
Maybe. Yeah, well, because your metabolism kicks up in spring. It gets a little bit like it gets your body ready to get going and doing things. So it's like, I don't know,
It used to
ingrained
drive
in
my
us.
parents crazy. They were like, "Do you ever sleep?" And I said, "Eventually."
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get
that's
all the
hard.
sleep I'll get all the sleep I need when I die.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've used that one. Yeah.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Not that we're in a hurry or anything, but yeah.
No, we're not. I'm not in a hurry. Although, some people at 3-letter agencies want us and groups would like to see us gone sooner.
Well, we're not going anywhere.
Okay. No,
Well,
'cause we're
I'll just do
cattle.
my
Stuck
normal
with us, people.
I'll do my normal self-defense method. Drop my pants, poop in my hand, and throw my poo at them.
Oh, the
That's-
monkey method. Yes,
Yep.
Bob.
Now,
I've heard
you
it
know
works well. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know it. I'm gonna
It
throw
works
my.
in zoos so well. People back right away from the monkeys.
Bob
I'm telling you.
this too.
Mhm. Zoo poo in the hands. Embracing
The
elders.
monkeys have been training Bob.
Monkey style martial arts. I've heard of that.
That's it. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing about
Yeah.
Rumble. Rumble was looking a little bit better every day with the way YouTube keeps
yeah.
becoming more comified. Yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah. That's it.
Comified.
I think saying communist is not illegal or is it? Or I don't know.
I don't
but,
know. I don't know what they're clued
No.
into with the
Mhm.
AI on here.
I get so tired of trying to keep up with what's correct.
Yeah, it's a bunch of horse. You know.
Pucky.
Yeah.
Horse Pucky. Well, everybody in the side chat, thank you for coming. Thank you, my people who came up on panel. But I
My
am going to
pleasure.
call it a night. What? So hemp
Alrighty.
oil.
Well, God already
okay.
did that. He
Yeah.
called it a night.
He
It
did
was
call
good.
it night. You're right. I'm going to call it my bedtime. Thank you again. And yes, the hemp oil, the CBD oil is good for that, Idaho. I hope it works for you. Okay, night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
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 Thing plugged in and broadcast.